in Housewives of Atlanta and New York Day. Let me know if you can hear me loud and clear. You know, always right before a show, trying to make sure all the technology and everything works, you know, moving things around, camera stuff. You know, it's a lot. It's a lot to keep this show going. This is our weekly recap of the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Guys, do not forget to like the video. Do not forget to let us know where you're watching from, what temperature it is where you're watching from. It's hot and humid here in New York, but not as hot as the rest of the country. Not the rest of the country. We have a lot to unpack. We have a lot to unpack in regards to the Real Housewives of Atlanta. But don't forget, we will be live later today at 5:30 p.m. Eastern, 2:30 p.m. PST for our Real Housewives of New York recap. You know, we've been really enjoying New York. It still has not been letting us down. We are live behind the scenes on TikTok. Once we go live, once we start taking live callers, we will be ending the live. So be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Kempire, on YouTube. And be sure to follow us on Facebook, TheKempire and Kempire Daily on Facebook. We're also live on Twitch and Twitter. All right. Before we get into the countdown, again, do not forget to like the video. And if you're watching on YouTube, do not forget to vote in our live poll. All right. Our live poll on how you would rate this week's episode of the Real Housewives of Atlanta. We just heard that the season finale of Atlanta will be on the 27th. So that is in 2 weeks. That's literally in 2 weeks. We will have the season finale for this season. And then the reunion, probably a 3-part reunion, will commence. How are you feeling? Are you excited for the reunion? Are you excited for this season to end? Intuitive Harmony says, Kempire, I'm in Florida and it's hot, child. I know, the entire country right now. All right, so let's get into a countdown and then let's get into what happened in the after show. Sanya versus Sheree. Let's talk about Kandi and the gang. We got some big news. Is Kandi leaving the Real Housewives of Atlanta? Is Kandi leaving the Real Housewives of Atlanta? And then, of course, we have to talk about this episode, Wreck-It Ralph. Let's get into this.
Baby, baby, won't you listen to me? I got that flavor. I know you're dying to feed. I ain't no dancer, just got some hip in my feet. Now throw your hands up. Ooh, you bring the lighter, I got the fuse. You make a fire, I'll add the fuel. Follow me, lead it, just watch your shoes. Gotta turn the heat up to get this cool.
Welcome back to the Kempire channel, your #1 source for pop culture news and music, entertainment, reality TV, and so much more. If you don't follow me on other platforms, then you may have missed out on the news. We had 2 very sad passings this morning. I just wanted to say rest in peace to Magoo. You remember Magoo? With Timbaland and Magoo collaborators for a very long time. He had such a unique voice. You know, we had a couple of songs with him and Aaliyah and Timbaland over the years. Well, we heard he passed away. He was only 50 years old. I haven't heard anything since this morning in regards to how he passed away. But yeah, he passed away this morning. 50 years old. 50 years old. Magoo. I can hear his voice literally in my head. That's how unique his voice in hip hop was. Also, we had the passing of the Black Godfather, Clarence Avant. You know, Clarence is, you know, a big heavyweight in the music industry, was a music executive, he had 2 different record labels. You also may recall his wife was brutally murdered in 2021 during a home invasion. So I can only imagine, you know, losing your wife, the love of your life. I'm sure he's probably had like a rough, you know, last couple of years, but 92, can't sleep on that. You know what we always say here when we report on passings of celebrities is that it's a reminder to the living to live more fully. Live more fully. But 50, damn. So may they both rest in power. All right. So let's get into the mess. Because you saw how I said mess, right? Because let's get into the mess. Let's get into the mess. Okay. Where do I want to begin? We could begin with Candy. So Candy, you know what I've been saying, and a lot of it, and this is all because of you guys. So Candy on her Speak On It last night said that Candy and the gang is coming back. Coming.
Good.
It's real good.
That was my girl, Dominique. She's also a part of Candy and the Gang, which a lot of you guys remember our reality show. It will be coming back. Anyway.
Okay. I was just saying it need to.
Yeah.
It's real good.
That was my girl, Dominique. She's also a part of Candy and the Gang, which a lot of you guys remember our reality show. It will be coming back. Anyway.
Okay.
You guys have been asking for Candy and the Gang to come back, and apparently Bravo, maybe, I don't know. She didn't say what network. I don't know. She said it in the full clip, but you guys will let me know. But she didn't say what network. I'm assuming, we just reported on Candy this week talking about she's not a part of Bethany and this whole strike situation or unionization of reality TV stars. Probably because she just signed on the green, on the dotted line. We're gonna get a renewed and maybe a 2-season guarantee. Look, I'm putting a little stank on it, a little sauce on it. So maybe that's why she's like, y'all not about to mess up my situation. We'll talk more about Bethany and what's in the news in regards to Bethany tomorrow during Tuesday Takeover. I don't want to waste your time. But I told you, I think this is it for Candy and Real Housewives of Atlanta. Yep, because we've been telling you, I told you this from before Candy and the Gang even came out. I told you guys, this is the perfect transition, the same way that Lisa Vanderpump left Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. This would be a perfect segue for Candy to leave Real Housewives of Atlanta and move on to her own show, Candy and the Gang. But I know, Candy, you do not want to do that because you make a very good check over at Atlanta. I don't think she's going to make the same check at Candy and the Gang. Of course, she's going to be executive producer, but at least she'll own it on some level. She'll be a partial owner of it. She will get residuals from that. Just saying. So don't be surprised they tell us next season that Candy, the longest reigning Real Housewife across the entire franchise, will be leaving to become the Lisa Vanderpump of Candy and the Gang. But a lot of us liked Candy and the Gang. We recapped Candy and the Gang. We enjoyed Candy and the Gang. Of course, it wasn't perfect. And Todd, in this episode, he's like, I'm juggling both the restaurant and the movie. And she was looked at him like, really? That means they still didn't get that generator because you guys are still talking about that generator from Candy and the Gang. Okay, thank you, Robin. Robin confirmed for me. She says, Kempire, that's all that Candy said about Candy and the Gang. Thank you. I just wanted to confirm because, if I don't get a chance to watch the entire thing, I don't want to say it's fact. However, thank you for watching and letting us know. So that's all she would say. I'm sure they're in the beginning stages because, when they start filming something, if it's not filmed yet, they're not really supposed to talk about it. But she did say Candy and the Gang is coming back. Congrats. Now I understand her stance. She's not going to go up against the network. And now she's going to get her residuals because she'll be an executive producer of Candy and the Gang. If it's going to be on Bravo. I'm assuming that it will be. Well, good for her. And good for that cast. Because a lot of you, like I said, said you liked the show. I enjoyed the show. We enjoyed our recaps. Well, that's good to know it's coming back. All right. Congrats to everyone involved because we know we had a cast of characters over there on Candy and the Gang that we enjoyed thoroughly. All right, that's how we were introduced to the. I now follow him on social, and he follows me too. Remember the interior designer? What's his name's friend? Oh my gosh, I can't remember all the names. He was the manager, and he was getting hell. Patrick, was it Patrick? His friend. Remember, I was like, oh, he's cute. Remember, anyways, I digress. Focus, Kempire. Now, I'm not saying there's a love connection. I'm just saying, calm down. Let's get into this episode. So at the top of this episode, Drew Sidora. Drew, I really was trying to ride with Drew. I was really trying to ride with Drew this season. I was like, you know what, Drew, this is going to be your swan song. Everything's going to be great for you this season. You're going to carry the rest of the season. But she's carrying it like a lion, cheating. Oh, goodness. Speaking of lying and cheating, listen to the new episode of our podcast, Kempire Radio, if you haven't. A new episode came out over the weekend. The visual version will be out on the Kempire Radio YouTube channel, so be sure to subscribe to that. I really should switch to the commercial cam. Can I switch to the commercial cam? Hold on. Where's my commercial cam? No, we haven't done that in a long time. I'm moving things around in the studio. Anyways, so back to this. So Drew Sidora goes to see this space because she's going to host the group and the ladies at this sort of retreat, mental health retreat in honor of her sister Allison, which I think is great. I think it is so good that she's doing this. All right. But did you guys notice, and you may have not noticed this, however, when she's talking about her sister's divorce, when she sort of turns it around on herself, she's like, with her divorce and what I'm going through. And I was like, wait, are you getting divorced? Wait, are you getting divorced? At this point, we're not supposed to know that you're getting divorced. So the timelines aren't timelining. But we've been saying that the last couple of episodes because we know a lot of these confessionals may have been filmed after the announcement. So the timelines are not matching up for me. I don't know about you. The timelines aren't matching up for me. But when she was talking to this group at this facility, she was just like, well, my sister went through this divorce. And I was like, Lee says, I peeped that too. I thought she might have said, well, my relationship stuff. But no, she was like, divorce. I was like, we're not supposed to know about a divorce yet. Just saying. I just noticed that. Maybe it was a slip of the tongue. I don't know. So they go to see this facility so that we're going to have this. Sanya. Okay. Sanya finally announces that she is pregnant. She tells Ross first, and she puts the what do you call it? The EBT, not EBT, EPT, whatever, the pregnancy test in the folder to tell him. And I like this about Sanya. So when Drew was trying to drag Sanya for her trying to make the announcement a social media thing with the group, I actually thought it was really cute. And Drew, that was an unnecessary shade. I like the fact, I'm happy for her. I'm not sure if this particular pregnancy that she's announcing on the show is the same pregnancy that she has now. Because remember, right before her pregnancy now, she had a miscarriage. So I'm not sure about the timeline of this. I guess we will see in the season. But I'm happy for Sanya. Congrats, Sanya. But when she tells her family, her sister was genuinely happy for her. And her mom was confused. And Sanya was like, Mama doesn't get it. No, you messed it up, Sanya. Always messing something up. Sanya was in the wrong situation. No wonder Mama was confused. She was like, what? Sanya's into the stunts and shows, which I can appreciate. You need someone in your life that's into stuff like that because that will make life interesting. Everyone can't just be like, oh, we're pregnant. Yes, make it a little bit of a little fun thing. Make it a surprise. So she got a little thing on her back, but she was in the wrong position. Okay? So Daddy was like, blup, blup. I don't know why they do that, y'all. Let me tell you something. I grew up around a lot of Jamaicans. And when I say grew up around Jamaican family, we don't blup, blup, blup in the house. Is that a Rastafarian thing? No shade. Maybe it is. I don't think so, though. Because a lot of you fellow Jamaicans were saying, yeah, that's not a thing, Kempire. I don't know why she does that. And then when the daddy did it, I was like, what in the blup blup is going on? Oh, sidebar. So as she made this announcement, Sherry made the announcement that she bought, that they were getting an apartment. I'm assuming Sherry and her husband are going to move in with the parents too. So, but they're moving out of the house. And then Sanya had the nerve to say in her confessional, oh, that now her family's leaving her. You kicked them out. You kicked them out. Why are we spinning the narrative now? Empress says it's not a Rasta thing. That's what I was about to say. Karaoke said it's not a Rastafarian thing. All right, so it's just not a thing. Why are they doing it? Maybe it's just their thing. Maybe it's the Richards thing, I guess. So So Sherry and I guess the mom and dad are going to get another house in the community. They're going to move out of Sanya's house, which is kind of good because then they can have separate lives. They'll still be in Atlanta. Remember, they were thinking about moving to Florida. Mama wants to move to Florida. So she announces to them like, oh yeah, we're going to get a place. We're going to get a place in the community, which is great because now, you know, Sanya's booked and busy. Sidebar, did you guys notice at the top of Sanya's scene, she was just looking at her bling bling that she got because, you know, Ross, her husband, who's got it, Martell, bought her a Rollie, a Rolex. For those that don't know the slang, bought her a Rolex. Those are not cheap. And that's actually a very smart investment because those don't lose value. If anything, they gain value. So when we talk about this whole, okay, let's talk about the situation with Sanya and Sheree. So some of you may have not seen this because you don't watch the after show and you only watch our recap, or you just watch the episode, or you watch highlights from the episode. So you may recall, because we find out in this episode through Kenya, when Kenya is hosting Shamia and Candy. Sidebar, I actually enjoy seeing Shamia. I think when Shamia is not on with Portia, I enjoy her more. Anyone else? But I never hated Shamia as a friend of. To me, she actually fit in good as a friend of. And maybe because we've had such lackluster friend ofs, I was like, oh, I like seeing Shamia here. Because she actually are friends with these ladies, like real friends. We'll get back to that in a second. We'll get back to that. So during the after show, Sanya and Sheree get into it. You know what? I'll save that. We'll save that before when we talk about the Candy, Shamia, and Kenya scene. We'll move on from there. So congrats to Sanya and her family. All right. Drew and Ralph, they go out on a date. And we're already starting to see the cracks in their relationship. There's something going on. Tommy. I'm going to call him Ralph this episode because they named the episode after him, Wreck-It Ralph.
Fuck your flowers.
Oh, I didn't mean to press that one.
Lies! The lie!
Okay. So Drew and Ralph go out on this date. All right. And at one point, Tommy, Ralph, whatever. He was like, oh, we're like Barack and Obama. We're like Barack and she's like, you do not even know that I'm here. Like, you don't even own the fact that you have a wife. Because you remember they showed the flashback of when he's like, we're like Ike and Tina. He was like, you know, when Ike was good, when was Ike good? Can someone tell me when Ike was good? I don't remember that part of the movie. When was Ike good? Can someone let me know? Was Ike ever good in What's Love Got to Do with It? Or in life? I'm sure somebody might have liked him, but was he ever good? No. Oh, wait, let me slow down the chat. I can't see all y'all comments. Hold on, y'all. Let me slow down the chat. Guys, if you haven't already, we already have almost 1,500 people watching on YouTube alone. Be sure to like the video. It's an easy and free way of supporting the channel. Let me just slow down the chat just so I can see your comments, guys. Hold on one second. I appreciate you all taking time out of your day to be a part of our recap of the Real Housewives of Atlanta. We are live behind the scenes on TikTok. We're also live on Twitch, Twitter, and of course on TheKempire and Kempire Daily on Facebook. All right, let me go back here and go back to the live. Okay. And members will have first access to the live call in. We're going to take calls in just a few. All right. Someone said pick one in regards to Tommy. I can't. I can't. So we have this date scene with Drew and Ralph. And I have to say, their scenes become cringier and cringier. And here's the thing. I don't think that completely Drew is innocent, but I also don't think that Ralph is completely innocent. She's talking about, about their issues. She's talking about how she has a lot coming up. She's about to be really busy with this movie. All right. She just signed it on the dotted line to do this movie with Todd and Candy. And he's like, oh yeah, right now you're booked and busy. I'm always busy.
Lies! The lie!
Come on. Oh, I'm always busy. Busy doing what, Tommy? Tommy, what are you doing? He's in tech. My thing is the fact that he's not able to tell us what he's doing definitively, it makes me look like you're really not doing anything. They show him, oh, he's busy working. They zoom and show his office. He's not even in there. All right. And then when she's like, oh, you could be like daddy daycare. He's like, I'm not daddy daycare. You know, I'm a busy guy. Busy. Real busy. They also talk about working with Dr. Ken and how Tommy's not going to therapy anymore. And he was like, you know, with therapy, it's all about talking about doing the things. I'm more about the action of doing the things. Sidebar, he says he travels a lot for work. Is that why he went to Tampa? We still have no idea why he went to Tampa. We have no idea. What are you busy doing? Where are you traveling to? He was at the reunion. That was interesting. I mean, he's never going to miss an opportunity to be on television. Is this the first time? You guys let me know. I can't remember everything. Is this the first time that we've had a husband where they're in the middle of a divorce and he's at the reunion? Nicole says gaslighting at its finest. Definitely. So, Drew believes the reason why Ralph stopped going to sessions with Dr. Ken was because Dr. Ken was starting to hold him accountable, and he didn't like that. Sound familiar, Martell? We need a Dr. Francis. I don't really love Dr. Ken in that Tyler Perry wig. Ooh, Quad and Greg, thank you so much. But I'm talking about Real Housewives, but that's a good example. Quad and Greg, you're right. But no, I want to talk about Real Housewives. Have we ever seen someone that's in the middle of a divorce, both the husband and wife, be at the reunion? I'm sure we have. Look. All right, moving along, because their scenes for me are so cringy. I don't know about you guys. Watching scenes with Drew and Ralph are cringy. Like, it's not enjoyable to watch. It's not cute. It's not funny. It's not entertaining. It's cringy. I can't watch Barack and Obama. I can't watch Barack and Obama. All right, let me get to the scene that I actually did enjoy watching. So Candy and Shamia go over to Moore Mansion. She's no longer calling it Manor. Did you guys notice that? See, I need to point out the little changes and little things that we don't talk about. When Shamia arrives, she's like, welcome to Moore Mansion. Okay, the Manor is now a mansion. Is she still selling it? I heard that on the streets. Is she still selling? First of all, these housewives were having a good old time. Portia, Candy, Kenya and Portia now follow each other again. They were having a good time at the Beyonce concert. Nene was at the Beyonce concert too. She wasn't with them though. She wasn't in the box seats with them. Just saying. Of course not. That would have been interesting though if they were. That would have been a nice little reunion. Okay. So Shamia and Candy come over, and of course they're talking about babies. So, you know, Kenya's storyline this season says she's having baby fever. She wants to have another child. She already has the embryos. I know a lot of you have opinions on it. You're like, why is she going to get in the middle of this? Candy's like, you want to have another baby with who? With who? She's like, I have embryos with Mark. And like we all said, that's a difficult decision to make because you don't have a good relationship with Mark. If she had a good relationship with Mark and Mark was a very active father, allegedly, I don't know. It doesn't sound like it. I mean, she has said it. If the circumstances were different and they were in the middle of a very contentious divorce, then I'd be like, yeah, go ahead. But she says either way, it doesn't matter if he protests to doing it. She can have it done. She can do it. She can do it. And then Shamia asked the question, like, what if he says he doesn't want her to do it? Like, what are you going to do? And then she answers the question. She's like, well, I think you should do it regardless. A lot of you have opinions on it. Here's the thing. You could tell. I don't believe this is just a storyline. If you watch these scenes and these scenes that don't make it on the show that you see on social media and on BravoTV.com with Kenya and Brooklyn. Oh, of course. Of course. She wants to create another Brooklyn or another, boy or a version of Brooklyn. I can see it. She wants to create the family she never had. I could definitely see it. And based on how Brooklyn is turning out, I want to see it. Brooklyn is a charmer. She's very verbal, very, very verbal. For 4 years old, she's speaking Spanish. We love a bilingual queen. All right. So I'm here for it. At least with Mark, I think once the divorce is over, I think co-parenting will be fine because apparently he doesn't want to be involved. I'm okay with her doing it. I'm okay with her. All right, let me say thank you, guys. You guys are just joining us. Don't forget to like the video. It's an easy and free way of supporting the channel. Hold on, let me just save this. Hold on, y'all. This thing is not moving. Oh, there we go. There we go. Let me save this. Okay. Let me say thank you. Daniel, thank you so much for the super chat. Daniel says, Ralph is the new Josefina Gorga of RHOA. Come on, let's not feminize these people's names. Thank you, Daniel, for the super chat. Here's the difference with Joe Gorga and Ralph. Joe Gorga is actually interesting. I know some people find him annoying, but at least with Joe Gorga, he makes me laugh. He gets the guys riled up. If Joe Gorga is not there, the guys are boring. Let's be honest. Mr. Melon and Magic, has it been a while? I feel like I haven't seen your name in a long time, or that picture. Mr. Melon says, I wish and hope for a healthy and great pregnancy for Sanya off of my TV screen. Come on. No, I still want to see our Jamaicans on television. I'm not going to look. I'm not ready for Sanya. I think Sanya would be a very different person if other people weren't on this cast. Just saying. I could be wrong. I've been wrong many times. It's fine. Ariana says, thank you so much for being a member, Ariana. Ariana says, hey, Kempire, I'm busy with work, but wanted to listen in from behind the bushes. That's fine, Ariana. I won't tell anybody. Thank you for being a member. Mario, thank you so much for the super chat. Mario says, reality recycling of venues is old. Drew's event was held at the mansion where Jocelyn did her show for Zeus. Okay, so Mario, we wouldn't have known that because we don't watch Zeus here. The same stairway where Jocelyn threw the cast members out and their luggage. I have no idea what you're talking about. I know the person you're talking about, but I never saw that. None of us saw that. Okay, maybe some of y'all saw this. Mario, apparently you saw it. Thank you so much for the super chat. Lady D, thank you so much for the super chat. Lady D says, does Kenya solely own the Emperor? Yes, she does. She doesn't need his permission because basically, I guess the process when they're doing it, one person is selected and she was selected. So she can decide on what to do with it. She doesn't even have to ask his permission, but she did say that she is going to, tell him. It's a sticky situation. Just saying. All right. Moving along in this scene. This is going to lead us to what I need to play for you next. Okay. So Kenya found out because Sheree had a birthday party. Martell was there and a few other people. Apparently it was at Nobu. It was very last minute. Even our girl Cynthia Bailey was there. Shout out to Cynthia. She's on the cover of Harper's Bazaar Serbia looking fierce. Okay. We had a couple. Cynthia was on the cover of a magazine. Candy was on the cover of a magazine this week looking great. Good for them. They're just killing it this week. All right. So Kenya brings up, I don't know how Kenya found out. Well, she says it was Sanya and Marlo are the ones that divulged this. I don't know when that came out or how it came out or how Kenya came to know it. During the after show, though, Marlo made it seem like it was Courtney who told Kenya. Here's the thing. Courtney doesn't speak to Kenya. This week, Courtney was on our friends over at Behind the Velvet Road calling Kenya a mean girl and that she needs to be off the show and that she's terrible to people behind the scenes. But this is the same Courtney that says, I never called her a bitch. And bitch.
Lies! The lie!
I don't curse like that, y'all. I had to do it for the reaction. I am acting. All right, maybe they'll cast me in the next the past two. No, I don't know what in the Tubi. I'm playing. What network is that going to be on? The Past? Do we know? Can someone tell me? Do we know it's going to be on Tubi? I've never watched anything on Tubi. Ever. Oh, it's going to be on Tubi? Damn. Oh, wait. Y'all all watch Tubi, though. Y'all all watch Tubi. So Tubi must be doing something right. Okay. So apparently Martell did not pay for a dinner. Mind you, at Noble, I'm actually surprised. Didn't they drink? The Noble price was $1,500, and Martell was trying to get everybody's Cash App because he wasn't trying to pay for it for everybody. I don't want to get into the back and forth in regards to should someone pay for a dinner that they're just dating. They've only been dating for a short period of time. Well, apparently this was a very contentious fight between Sheree and Sanya during the after show. And I don't think, okay, I'll play it. I'm going to play this for you guys. All right. I can't play the video because, so I can only play the audio for you guys because, you know, licensing and things like that. All right. So Martell apparently did not want to pay the $1,500 and he was trying to get everyone's Cash App. All right.
I heard it was Courtney.
At the end of the day, it was just a little much for anybody to think that they were going to come to my birthday party and not bring me a gift and not do this and not do that, and then you think you're going to get your meal paid. You know, we're not married or anything like that.
Y'all not been together that long for him to pay the bill that we have for the whole table.
I have not been to dinner with anyone whose guy paid for me. Period, by myself. Any of you guys. Typically, when it's a birthday party, people chip in. People chip in.
Let's push through.
Let's push.
Yeah, people can chip in for the birthday girl. Especially if you didn't bring a gift. I'm just saying.
One thing, so I'll be honest. I originally thought that Martell would pay it. Like
You did?
I didn't think about like how new the relationship was. So Martell shouldn't have that responsibility.
And I think about that whole gift that you keep saying, Sheree, is.
You know we want to get out of here.
No, I gotta answer this. No, because
I just landed.
No, because the thing is, Sheree, when we first started gonna have the dinner, I thought it was gonna be just me, you, and Ross.
But when you got there and figured it out, when you got there and figured it out, you still want to be you want your meal to be paid for when you got there and you didn't know.
No, but Sheree, hold on, no.
Empty-handed?
No, serious. This is
Empty-handed?
Empty-handed. So I literally found out about your birthday the day before, right? So to me, I'm not gonna run. You're not 5 years old. I'm not gonna run to the store to go buy you a gift.
And you're grown. Why would I pay for you and your guy? You and your husband's dinner?
I paid for y'all to eat at Ash's birthday party. I didn't ask y'all a chip.
You know how many parties or events I've had? You see my events, honey. Do you think they're cheap?
No, I think they're cheap.
Okay, so we're not talking about an event. We're talking about a dinner.
That's what I'm saying.
Why would you expect me for
Because
my birthday
when
to
I
pay
go
for
with
you and
my
your
other
husband?
friends and their
Why would you
husbands,
expect
they
me?
pay.
Why would
They
you
pay.
pay?
But I'm not saying he had to pay. I'm not saying he had to pay. I was happy to pay.
You should not expect me to pay for anything on my birthday.
No, she didn't expect you. She
I thought your man would pay for you.
Yeah, he did pay for me.
That's right.
But why would he pay for you and your husband?
But what I'm saying is about the gift. No.
Ross shouldn't even want a man paying for him and his wife.
No.
Okay,
y'all
stop.
Ross
Yeah.
should not have wanted a man to pay for him and his wife.
the bill, so he was
Nobody
gonna pay for
saw
y'all.
What do you mean he didn't pay for me?
I
But
don't
Ross
need
should.
him to pay for me either. What I'm saying is that people.
Y'all
That's
are
your
acting like
husband.
Candy and Marlo is
That is your
misunderstood.
husband. Your husband shouldn't even want another man
Y'all
paying
not
for you.
listening to each
Who
other.
said my
That's your
husband
saying.
did?
You just said you wanted Martell to pay for
Can we
you.
breathe in?
Not Ross. So
But you should not. But with your husband sitting next to you,
I'm not
with
saying
your
I
husband sitting next to you, you
I have
should not
been
want
to
another
many
man to pay for
birthday
you.
dinners where the man
I
pays for
stop the-
everybody.
this too
But your
So I'm
husband's
just
sitting next to
saying,
you.
I
I
didn't
have
expect
two when it's
or
all
not
girls.
expect,
I
but
have
if
two.
it happens, it's not
I have two
untraditional.
when it's all girls.
That's all I'm saying.
When it's all girls,
It's not
I have two.
untraditional.
But why would you want a man to pay
I
for
didn't
you
say
and your
I wanted him
husband?
to. I'm just saying that it
But
happened.
you
in the
expected
past.
them to.
It wasn't my
Listen, I've been to
expectation.
birthday parties too
It wasn't my
where the man
expectation.
paid, but it was all
So you
women.
have- no,
But it was all
you
women.
have never been to a couple's date where a man took care of the dinner, but
No.
Ross went to go pay and the man
Listen,
still
any of
got
my
to
friends
pay.
would have paid. Any of my friends, a
Exactly.
couple of them
We
took
were-
their, a couple
Ross
of them took
went
their
to go
cars.
pay.
A couple
Ross
of them,
went to go
a
pay.
couple of them went to take
Exactly.
their
So
cars
I'm
out.
saying is usually a man will pull out their card. I was in the club with Candy and Todd paid. When we went to that dinner that time, Todd paid.
We're talking 2 people, 4 people.
No, it was like 8 of us. It was like 8 of us.
Listen, you
And I
guys,
don't
we're
want
not going to
argument.
be like the crew. We're going to
No,
say
I'm
here,
just
we're going
saying,
to
I
agree
just
to
don't-
disagree.
But what I was saying though was,
if Martell had been with her longer, I would have
was talking
expected him to
about-
pay. I know
Exactly, and
if
I
she was
agree
still,
when you
if
said
she
that.
was still married to
I
Bob, I
agree.
know he would have paid.
Exactly.
My husband.
That's why I
My
said,
husband.
Marlo. That's why I
did
said
say
after
that.
you made that point, I was like, damn, they have a bitch
I
that
did,
long.
but
But
then
you was like,
But then you
"Oh,
came back and circled back and said, I did expect Martell to pay
No,
for the whole
I said I
table.
didn't.
She
said
said
I
first
didn't
until
expect.
she thought about the
I
time
said
frame
that
of the
exactly.
relationship.
And the other thing too, Sheree, about the whole gift thing, you keep trying to shame me about the gift.
I ain't shading just you, I'm shading everybody.
Yeah, but the
y'all
thing is,
came and you want to be, you want to
I
choose.
just
It's my birthday.
I didn't
got
want
you
it. I'm just
perfume.
saying it could or could
I
not
got you
happen. I can
perfume
pay
for
for
your
my own
birthday.
meal.
I got you
I
a
can pay for
bottle
my
of
own
perfume.
meal,
You
Sheree.
did?
I wasn't
Nina's,
expecting
$400.
anything. But
When?
Sheree, my birthday has passed 2
I got
times.
your
You
bottle
never
of
got
perfume.
me
I
a
gave it
gift.
to you.
So why the
Sonya's
gift
not
keep
trying to hear
coming
that.
up? Like I showed up for your dinner. You invited me the day before. She don't want to hear the truth. She don't want to hear the truth.
I gave me a gift last year or this year.
Exactly.
Because you ain't celebrate your birthday. Because you ain't celebrate your birthday. I had a dinner.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is straight. No, my birthday last in 20. I
Did
feel
you
like
celebrate
it's
on camera?
so only on camera we
Well,
get
did you
gifts.
invite me?
We only get gifts on camera.
Well, obviously
I
not.
bought you a gift
Obviously
last
not.
year. I bought you a gift last year for your birthday.
What did you give me though?
I got you some like Versace slippers or something last year for your
Well,
birthday.
I don't know where they
Yo,
are.
we
Because
are
I
not
don't
gonna
know.
tell you.
I'm not playing with you.
I'll ask my sister.
I don't
what we
have
got you, what
Versace,
we got you. I
slippers.
definitely gave you a gift. It was on the table along with
Wow.
the only person that gave a gift was Drew.
Yeah,
The only
Drew
person-
was
I think it was
on
my
Versace.
Gucci
Versace
slippers.
slippers.
We got you some bedroom slippers. They were either Gucci or Versace.
Ooh, no, we need to
For
find
sure.
those.
No,
Oh,
seriously,
yeah,
I swear to
yeah,
God.
we need to find
I swear
those.
to God.
Well, I love you guys. We love each other.
Yes,
I
I
do.
It's so fake.
Okay.
But we love each other. So awkward. So if you want to see the video footage of that, they're not paying me, but they should. You can see that on the after show. You can see it on Peacock. You can see it on YouTube as well. Or you can watch the video that I posted on TikTok because you can see my initial reaction when I first saw this. All right. So, and this is what I can appreciate about Sanya. She's not going to just let something ride. And I was just like, yeah, Sonya, go for it because you stand in what you believe in. But Sanya, as I said in my video last night, as my mother would always say, for those who don't listen must feel. And now you're feeling. You're feeling. Blup, blup. You're feeling. Because that is exactly who Sheree is. Sheree doesn't care about anyone but herself. This is exactly what she was doing. And Sheree gaslights her friends. This is exactly what she was doing to Candy this season. And what she's done to so many other people. She's done this countless times. There is no loyalty. Look, I know a lot of you are going to say there was no loyalty amongst any of these ladies. Well, some of them. But literally, you're seeing Sheree's true colors. And the fact that, and I know some people are like, well, friends argue. Friends have disagreements. Yeah, but the true test of a friendship is how you have those disagreements. If you go to the juggler, if you go to someone's manhood, she literally was questioning Ross's manhood. You think you would does Ross want another man to pay for him? Basically what she's saying, like, oh, is he a man or is he not a man? And mind you, literally at the top of this episode, we have Sanya talking about, thank you, baby, for my rollie that you got me. He's not hurting for money. Martell? Wait, where's Mom? It's me. Hi. I'm the problem. It's me. Martell's hurting for money. He might want to pretend like $1,500. And look, I know not everyone has that. But let me tell you something. This is part of the reason. I've talked about this before, like on my podcast. This is why when I go out with my friends, I don't like this, like, oh, you got this. I got this. I'll be like, no, I'll pay for it. I can't. I don't want to do those places where you can split checks and things like that. But what did Kenya say? Broke bitches split checks, okay? Y'all got me saying bitch a lot this episode. But broke bitches split checks. I can't. And I get it. Not everyone can do that. But let me tell you something. If we're going out and it's $1,500 and it's your birthday, if your man can't pay for it, I am. I'm just gonna pay for it because I don't want to do this. I don't want to have these arguments later. But Sanya, I hope you paid attention. I hope you paid attention. I can't. And that's why it gets so awkward. And a lot of you are saying, like, and look, everyone has different etiquette and beliefs on how that should be handled. And that's fine, as long as you have those conversations with your friends beforehand. And literally, their invitation to Nobu was last minute. I'm actually surprised that the bill was so cheap. For Nobu, $1,500? And I know, a lot of us are not, I'm not spending $1,500 normally when I go out. But with grown folks, it's a birthday party. It's a crowd of people. People are eating and drinking and doing all the things. I expected it to be a lot more. based off of what Martell is saying, he should be able to pay for something like that. And what Sanya is saying is like, I didn't expect Martell to pay for me. What I'm saying, because Ross was ready to go pay that bill. Because Ross can. Okay, look, Ross can. Just saying. But everyone's different. I understand that everyone can pay for a $1,500 bill. Apparently Martell can't. And the fact that you're going to go around the table and ask for my Cash App, I'll be like, Negro, get out of my face with that. Because you know what the first thing I probably would have said to Martell? Don't worry about Martell. I'm going to pay for it. Don't worry about it. Because this whole send me a Cash App to the... No. Because I don't want later for you to say, oh, you remember that day you sent me a Cash App and then you say it's for something else. Nope. I'm not sending you a Cash App. We're not friends like that. I will pay for it. I will pay for everybody at this table. Broke, man. But I understand. Martell's like, I only agreed to pay for a certain amount. You know, a part of our contractual agreement, me and Sheree, I'm not supposed to be paying for dinners. And it wasn't filmed? It's me. Hi. I'm the problem. It's me. Speaking of Martell and Sheree, so Sheree goes to bring, and this is the best part of this scene. I prefer scenes with Sheree and her dog than scenes with her other dog. Just saying. So I enjoyed seeing Gotti. I forgot his name. I enjoyed seeing her try to give him a bath. He was very, very cute. But you know what I did? I don't know if you guys saw this video that's been circulating online over the weekend. I saw, because you know that's like a cane corso she has. I saw. I watched it. Oh, if you follow me on Instagram, I retweeted it, or I shared it on my story. Yo, this poor Amazon delivery guy went to the door to deliver an Amazon package, and he was ready to take the picture, because you know how they take the picture to say, you know, this is where it was left. The cane corso came through the glass, and he ran. So every time I see the cane corso, I was like, this is why I don't play with certain dogs. Look, you just never know. Just never know. So every time I see that dog, I'm like, ooh. Anyways. So she gets a call from Martell. I don't even care. Even when she's asked questions, when Sheree's asked questions about, oh, so what did Martell get you for your birthday? And what did she say he got him? I forgot who. She said some sort of designer bag. I can't remember the name. It doesn't matter, because I don't know if I even believe that. Do you even believe it? I don't know if I believe it. Oh, Sheree. Woo, Sheree. Oh, Alex. What? No, it wasn't. It wasn't Alexander. And it was. Oh my gosh. It was someone else. Now I can't think. But when she was asked the question, is what stood out to me the most. What stood out to me the most. McQueen. Alexander McQueen. Thank you, TikTok. It was Alexander McQueen that she got. And she's like, you know, he's not, you know, used to buying luxury bags and I don't believe that, because Sheree has to tell. For those that don't know, Sheree has to tell. When Sheree's lying, when Sheree's lying, Sheree stutters. Okay, that's her tell. Everyone has a little bit. Well, not everyone. Someone's Drew. She's a liar of all liars. Okay. But Sheree's tell, she's just like, it's in her eyes, it's in her face, like right here. She was probably lying right here when in this scene. She was lying. She's a liar. I don't believe he bought her anything. I don't believe this relationship. I don't care about this relationship. Girl, do not bring him back next season. Matter of fact, do not bring yourself back next season. Sidebar. So Candy, I forgot where she mentioned this. I think it was in the interview with Entertainment Tonight. She said that at the reunion, everybody was coming for her. Like, she had like a really tough reunion. And then she said her and Drew are not in a good place after the reunion. And then I said to myself, well, then my original seating arrangement should have been correct. Candy should have been sitting right next to Andy, across from Drew. And you could have put, I don't know where you want to put the other one. Sheree. I think they only put Sheree there because she's an OG, but she didn't really bring much of anything this season. Back to this. So she has that conversation with Martell. I don't care. Kandi and Drew. So Kandi and Drew are going to this table read for The Pass, Todd's movie. All right. So they do a table read. And look, I don't know if anyone said this before, but literally, and mind you, these were just little moments of seeing people say their lines. Candy's in the movie, Manyetta's in the movie, Shamia's in the movie, and of course, Drew is a star in the movie. And just the little line that Drew did, and just from her facial expression, I was like, Drew is actually a good actress. Like, you could tell she's trained, unlike, some of the other people that are in this movie. Even Kandi, no shade, but telling y'all the truth. Look. Just in that little line that she did, I was like, oh, look at Drew. Drew is an actor. This is what I appreciate about actors that can kind of turn it on and turn it off. It's just that, Drew doesn't turn it off. But I literally, in that moment, I was like, oh, that I could see. I could see Drew. Good for Drew. Everybody else in the movie, oh, yeah. I'm happy for Todd. Todd is saying, his priorities right now are the restaurant and this movie. Candy's like, no, it's not. It's just this movie. And they want this movie to be a success. I can appreciate that Todd is working. And oh, damn. I didn't mean it like that, Todd. I didn't mean it like that. I feel like he's hustling. That's the word I meant to say. I feel like he's always hustling. He's always coming up with other ideas. Remember, this whole restaurant situation that is very successful for them is, hold on, let me take a sip. Is doing very well for them. And now it has a spinoff show. So Todd's a good partner. Just saying. Oh, wait a second. Faith says that on Speak On It, Kandi replayed where Drew admitted in Real Housewives of Atlanta season 13 reunion that she has kissed a girl before. Oh! So Drew is lying. Do we really have to debate this? Do we really have to debate? I think we all know that Drew is lying about kissing a woman. It's fine, Drew. But don't make these new narratives trying to throw people under the bus. Like, oh, well, Kandi probably, wants me to play this role. And I told you, I was like, I would be pissed with Drew. Because now the insinuation that you're making is Phaedra-esque. And dangerous. And she's like, she's still waiting on an apology from Kandi. She's still waiting on an apology. You would hold your breath. Matter of fact, don't hold your breath because you would pass out. Because I'm not apologizing to you. You should apologize to Kandi. Cherie says, nothing new here. Always lying. Always lying. Sage, thank you so much. Sage to Sag. Thank you so much for the super chat. We appreciate you supporting the channel. Miss Green, thank you so much for the super chat. Miss Green says, that is so tacky and cheap. I don't make reality TV money, and I paid for my husband's birthday dinner at what is that? Oh, Pirates Dinner Adventure for 19 people. Shame, shaking my head. And look, I understand not everyone can do that, but it's just like, come on. And not only he doesn't reality TV money, isn't he supposed to have like other businesses and things like that? He's just, look, I think he's just tacky. Brian, thank you so much for the super chat. Brian says, what about Sheree and that come on, don't, are we going to go here? Are we going to go here, Brian? Are we going to go here? I still have my, I still have an AOL email address, but I only use that for like store stuff, like where all the spam goes. So I still have my AOL email address. So I was a little triggered. I was like, do not judge, but I don't really actively use that email address. That's really for like the spam and crap. Even though spam comes everywhere now at this point. Thank you, Brian, for the super chat. Thick Brown Legs, thank you so much for the super chat. She says, Sheree returned those expensive slippers. Because you heard that Sanya says, we got you slippers. And she's like, I don't know where they are. I never got them. I believe Sanya. Anyone else? I believe Sanya got her slippers or something for her birthday. Tamara, thank you so much for the super chat. Tamara says, I went to Caravana the other day. My man offered to pay for the table. Just saying. How many people were there? I don't know. I just feel like people are cheap. That says the AOL took me out. Her being shy to say it on camera and laughing. I wouldn't have been shy. What is wrong with having AOL? You heard the sound effect that they played. I was a little triggered when they played that old sound effect. Remember how internet used to be? Thank God we've come so far in regards to the internet, because we would not be able on dial-up. You want me to go stream live on dial-up right now? You stream in 4K?
Lies, the lie.
That's not happening. Like, that's not happening. So they play that little sound. But AOL's, look, what makes Gmail better than AOL? They do the same thing. They do the same thing. I'll wait. Moving on. Okay. Mind you, never mind. See, April says, I still use my AOL. And I really don't even use my AOL. Like I said, I use it for like store stuff. All right. So they had the table read. The Pass is coming. They're going to film. We're going to see a little bit more of that probably in the next couple of weeks. Todd is very proud of this, but he did want to make sure that everyone knew that that's not his relationship. There is no Pass in his relationship. Oh, wait, Joy says, not Joy quoting me right now. Joy says, I don't know. I just feel like side people are cheap. Did I say that? I don't remember. I forget half the stuff that I say on here, y'all. I forget half the stuff that I say. I just listened to my podcast episode that just came out. Again, guys, if you missed it, subscribe to the Kempire Radio podcast on your favorite podcast platform. We're available on Google, Apple, Spotify, a bunch of different places. Head on over to KempireRadio.com for more details. All right. D says, what is AOL? American Online. It was like the original of all internet. Remember the chat rooms? Oh, those chat rooms. Y'all remember the chat rooms. Okay. Gay boys, y'all remember those chat rooms? Moving along. Congrats to Candy and Todd on Candy and the Gang coming back, and now The Pass. Y'all let me know how The Pass is, because I don't know if that's going to be my movie. I got to go watch Big Brother. All right, guys, don't forget, tomorrow we will be live for our Tuesday Takeover, where we cover a variety of reality TV news, and pop culture news. Of course, I already have a bunch of stuff to talk about and recap. I got to get out of here and rewatch Real Housewives of New York, and then watch 90 Day Fiance. There's a lot going on. All right, let's move on. So Drew hosts this mental health fitness retreat. So she does a little, first of all, this is where the scenes with Drew and Ralph are so cringy. When she's greeting everybody, she hadn't seen him all day, and he hugs everyone but her. But this is the bad thing, an immature thing about Ralph. I think he was butthurt, the fact that she went to Ross to hug him before she hugged her husband. But you could see that literally it was just a miscommunication, because she hadn't seen him, and Ross was already coming in for a hug. So I think that it was a miscommunication, but Ralph is so immature that he wants to go hug everyone else before he hugs his wife. And of course, everyone's just like, what is going on over there? So Alice and her sister talks about her mental health journey and the things that she went through. I thought this was actually really great. I like seeing Allison be a part of Drew's storyline and be a part of the season, because we don't talk about mental health enough, especially within our community. And I thought this was great, because you literally see when they're doing the different activities, Candy had an aha moment. You remember Candy was going through the group stuff. She said she's been stressed. She said her blood pressure was high. Remember I told you at the top of this season, I was concerned for her blood pressure, only to come to find out on this episode that she's having blood pressure issues, the silent killer of many black women. I was just talking about this on the podcast. So, Candy, just saying. But she had an aha moment during this whole, healing session that they were having. And then they do a Drag It with Drew. Not Drag It with Drew. So they do a Drag It with Drew, and then Marlo finds out. She's like, is Drag It with Drew even working right now? Only come to find out, Drag It with Drew is still not working, y'all. I went to Drag It with Drew, and this is what I got. 404 not found. Is it under another name? Very possible, but I think this is funny, because this is exactly what shows up in the episode. This is exactly what they show us in the episode. All right? So apparently, Drag It with Drew is still not functioning. But they do a Drag It with Drew at this mental health fitness situation. All right. Okay, I was doing the NPC thing right there for a second. Thank you for the roses. Nicki Minaj over the weekend was doing it herself. She had like 60-something thousand people in her live. Damn. So, but we got 2,000. Yay! JP says that Allison's MVP. Yeah, I love the fact that she's sharing her journey and the things that she's gone through. Because even Candy, I think on the after show, said that hearing her, because Candy alluded during the after show, she didn't know if she really believed Drew. And when she was talking about her sister's mental health stuff, she said she wasn't sure she believed Drew because Drew lies a lot. She didn't say it like that, but basically. Okay? Basically. So we have that. We have them do a Drag It with Drew. Again, for those that were looking for Drag It with Drew, this is what we got. Okay? Drag It with Drew. All right. All right. Moving on. All right, let me go back to my notes. All right. So they do that. Then Sheree, when the ladies go to sit down and have some food, this event looks really nice. Drew has learned how to throw a situation. All right, it looked really nice. So the guys are outside having a conversation about this lawsuit. We get an update because Sheree brings up her lawsuit again. She's like, what's going on with that? So they're still in the middle of the situation. We see some video footage where Drew says that, they're probably going to countersue this woman. And she said, this woman came in and said she was going to cook for us. She had hair in the food. I don't know if I even believe any of that. And then the woman was like, do you guys have any other positions? First of all, if you're coming for one position, and I had someone do that before, because, I was like, I need a cleaning situation and whatnot. And I had someone, and this person's telling me, like, I do this, I do that, and I do it. And I'm like, y'all need to focus on one thing. Y'all doing too much. Okay? So when she told me that this woman came into the house and said, I'm a chef, and then she's talking about what other positions you have open. How about you focus on being a chef is a lot of work. Can we focus on one thing at a time? Please? And I just took that as a lesson for everyone. Stop trying to do everything. Perfect one thing. Okay? And once you perfect that, then move on to something else. Or if whatever you're doing is not working, try something else. Do I believe Drew or Ralph? No. No, I don't believe them. I don't believe them at all. They're liars. They're liars. Okay. They're liars. Okay. So Ralph is talking with Todd and Monietta's husband about it. Was it? No, it was Ross, right? Where was Todd? Was Todd there? Or was that Todd? I can't remember because it was three of them talking. You guys will remind me. So they're talking about this lawsuit situation. Drew is like, well, yeah, she was suing us for $10,000. And everyone was like, I thought it was $1,000. And a lot of you said this too. If she's just suing you for $1,000, just pay the lady the $1,000. I don't know if it's simply as that, because I do agree with Drew. If you pay $1,000, then that person might come back for another $1,000 later on. But now, according to Drew, she's like, oh no, it's $10,000. She was asking for $10,000. So the producers had their receipts. The producers had their receipts. All right, they had their receipts. So I'm going to show you the receipts that they had. So according to the lawsuit, Exhibit B, all right. Exhibit A, these are the lawsuits documents, and it all says $1,000. So Drew's lying again. We keep catching Drew in lies. Well, because they're probably thinking, Drew's probably thinking, no, when I said 1,000, they were like, that's petty, just pay the money. Yeah, it's petty, pay the money. But according to the court documents, this woman was suing for $1,000. Moving along. All right. Moving on. Gigi says, poor Drew, please stop lying. Maybe it was something. Maybe it's a disease. It might be a disease. We got to forgive her then. If it's a disease, just saying. Exactly. K-Rocket says, why is she even lying? No idea, because it's a disease. Thick Brown Legs. Thank you so much for the super chat. Thick says, I still have an AOL email that I use all the time. See? I have like 10,000 emails that I have not read in my AOL email. I know. It works my nerve too. I need to go through it. But it's my spam email. Thick, thank you so much for another super chat. Thick says, Kempire, those chat rooms were lit. Memories. Do they not have those chat rooms at all anymore on American Online? Miss Treese, thank you so much for the super chat. Miss Treese says, FYI, Don was interviewed by Andy. Don Juan? Interviewed by Andy when, Don, Vicky's ex, by Andy when Vicky was divorcing him, and Peter came to the reunion when he was divorcing Cynthia. Oh, yeah. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. You know, I'm not an OC fan. I recap it, but I don't know it chapter and verse. Thank you so much for the super chat, guys. We have over 2,100 of you watching on YouTube alone, and some of you watching on Facebook, Twitch, and Twitter, and quite a few of you watching behind the scenes here on TikTok. We appreciate you all taking time. TikTok, keep tapping your screens. Let's get to 25,000 likes. And those of you that are watching on YouTube, let's get to 750 likes at least. My goodness. We will be dropping the call-in link for the general audience. But first, I'm going to drop the call-in link for our members. It's a little perk. It's not a guaranteed perk, but it's a little perk of the channel. So I'm going to drop the call-in link for our senior royals first. And don't forget, guys, we will be live later today at 5:30 p.m. Eastern for our recap of the Real Housewives of New York. All right? I still got to rewatch that episode. There was a lot going on. All right. So if you are a senior royal, I'm dropping the call-in link for you first. Posted. If you are a Royal Court member, I'm going to drop the call link for you. And guys, if you want to become a member of the channel, head on over to teamkempire.com/join. And Team Kempire members, I'm dropping the call in link next for you. So here's the thing. So Drew's explaining what's going on with this divorce situation. All right. Not divorce situation. Sorry. With this lawsuit situation. And Cynthia Bailey is there, and she's like thoroughly confused. She's like, what lawsuit? So she explains what's going on in regards to the lawsuit, but then people are confused. Is it 1,000? It's 2,000? And then they discuss Sheree's birthday party on how Drew wasn't invited and Candy wasn't invited. But Sheree's like, I had people there that I've been friends with for 30 plus years. And Candy's thoroughly confused. She's just like, well, you've known me longer than Sanya and Marlo. And so why are they invited and I wasn't invited? And Sheree was like, well, I thought you were busy. It's like, well, a text would clear that up. And she said she was in town and she would have went. So she feels like Candy feels like her relationship with Sheree is not in the best place right now. Sheree, and mind you, Candy probably would have paid for the table for everyone. If anything, that would have been a reason to invite her because your boyfriend can't pay for it. And she wouldn't have asked for it. She was like, no, I'll pay for it. Happy birthday. And mind you, it was a last minute birthday celebration. Sheree, pitiful. Mind you, Candy, I get it. You and Sheree were in a good place at this point. I wouldn't have wanted, thank you for no invite. Because I don't want to have to come and pay for a dinner of people I don't like. Just saying. I'd much rather pay for people I do enjoy and want to spend time with. Just saying. Okay. So Monyetta then brings up the whole collusion conversation. And she says that Courtney called Drew a bitch. Y'all got me cussing a lot today. I got to go wash my mouth out with soap. And Courtney's like, that is not even in my vocabulary. and Monyetta's like, but you said it. And then the producers played the video. Of her saying it. Courtney's a very different person when the cameras are not rolling. Okay? She's like, that bitch. Sorry for the kids listening. So if your kids start saying bitch, it's my fault. Sorry. I should start doing this. Bitch. Exactly, Paris. I was thinking the same thing, but I think Kenya said that she was busy, so she couldn't go. Her and Sheree are in a good place, so Kenya must have been invited Only people that weren't invited were Drew and Candy, the two Tauruses that probably would have paid for the dinner. Just saying. So Courtney's caught in a lie, and as they're leaving, Courtney's like, that word is not even in my vocabulary. And then I forgot what it said. And then Courtney's just like, oh, come on, bitch. Proving Moneta's point. Proving Moneta's point. You are a liar, Courtney. Liar.
Lies. The lie.
Lies. So they go outside. Look, they go outside and Sanya, I almost forgot that Sanya announced earlier in the episode that she was pregnant, but she wanted to tell the group that she was pregnant. So she had on her shirt, I'm pregnant. And they took a picture, and that's when she opened up her shirt. And then she was like, oh, everybody, pull out your phones. Pull out your phones. And everyone's just like, girl, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, what are you doing? And then Drew shades her. She's like, she always want to make a social media moment. Just say that you're pregnant. Akilah was the first person to notice, like, oh my God, you're pregnant. I thought it was really cute. Sanya, I thought it was cute because it's celebratory, especially if this pregnancy is the one after the miscarriage. I mean, any pregnancy is a blessing, but you know what I'm saying. After you've lost one and then now you're pregnant, and now she's telling you, of course you're excited. I thought it was a really cute moment. Drew, you were just hating. And I get it. If we think about what's going on in her life, she's bitter, she's mad, her whole situation. But come on, be happy for the woman. She would have been happy for you. I thought it was sweet. I thought it was sweet and I thought it was cute. Congrats, Sanya. She's in Jamaica. Or she was in Jamaica. And happy belated birthday to Deuce. All right, so this final scene, Tyler Perry produced. Because those Tyler Perry wigs. So Drew's at home with her sister. She's about to have a counseling session with Dr. Ken. So this is where we start to see the cracks because you know the season's rounding out. So we know the divorce is going to be the next few episodes. And she's talking about how the relationship is not in a good place. She said that her and Ralph have been dealing with issues of transparency, fidelity, and respect. All right. So she's breaking down, crying in this episode, and I'm just so completely distracted, so I don't even remember anything that was said. I played that scene multiple times, and all I could stare at were those wigs. I'm looking at it. What is going? Tyler Perry, that influence, I tell you. Spanning the streets of Atlanta. All right, let's get to some callers. TikTok, this is where we will be ending the live, but I appreciate you all. Thank you guys so much for tapping your screens. Thank you for watching. If you would like to hear the callers, head on over to our YouTube channel, or be sure to follow us on Facebook, TheKempire and Kempire Daily on Facebook, or you can watch us on Twitch and Twitter. You can hear everything there. But I'm going to end the live here because you won't be able to hear the callers. All right? Thank you so much for being here, TikTok. And for those of you that are watching on YouTube, and those of you watching on Facebook, Twitch, and Twitter, keep liking the video, keep sharing the video. And don't forget, a new episode of our podcast, Kempire Radio, came out over the weekend. So be sure to check that out. And don't forget to rate and review the podcast because it means a lot. All right? Because as you know, everybody named Mama got a podcast now. So go rate and review so you can get us moving up on the podcast lists. Okay? All right. We have a full backstage of members. So shout out to our members that support us on a monthly basis. We do not take that lightly. If you would like to become a member of the channel, head on over to teamkempire.com/join. It helps us greatly. So I can say bitch without worrying about them limiting the video because of advertisers. And thank you so much for the super chats, Venmos, PayPals, all of that. All of that. All right, TikTok, thank you guys so much for being here. I will talk to you guys later. All right. All right, let me take a sip. Dental Queer Jenna says, Courtney a little scrappy. I like it. I think she needs to own it, though. Kathy says, Courtney looking to come up. She doesn't have that it factor. I agree. Anyways, let's get to some callers so I can call it. You all will have a minute. Oh, hold on. I pressed the button. All right, callers, I am going to switch this out to the callers. Ooh, that might be a little too close, right? That might be a little too close. Okay. And let me put up my disclaimer just to remind anyone, no profanity. I know I used quite a few profanity today, but no, callers, you are not permitted. All right. And the opinions of the callers do not represent the opinions of myself, the Kempire LLC, or our advertisers, or Google and not Apple. All right, let's get to some callers so I can get out of here and rewatch The Real Housewives of New York so we can talk about that. All right. Let me bring up Miss Brooklyn Stars first. Is Alex not backstage? 'Cause you know Alex usually the first one. Nope, Alex is not backstage. It's all right, Alex. You were missed. Okay, let me bring up Miss Brooklyn Star. Hey, Miss Brooklyn Star.
Hey, Kempire, how are you?
Oh, well, how are you?
I'm great. Okay, like two things stuck out to me in this episode that bothered me so much. Ralph is not busy. Ralph is at every call time very early, okay, and in sweats. He bothers me. And I don't like the fact that he even had the audacity to put his name alongside Obama. Bye. No. And okay, and the Martell thing bothered me so much. Like, I wish somebody's husband would ask me for my cash app for a $1,500 dinner. I think they got a lot of stuff comped because there's no way that amount of money for that group. No way. I know there's no way. I just went to dinner like last month for a birthday, and it was 5 of us, and it was at least $1,000 or something like that. There's no way. No. And I'm sorry. Martell cannot afford entry into this circle. He just needs to stay at home. And no shade to anybody, but nobody is wearing Alexander McQueen bag in 2023 like that. If you don't have a bag from 2010 and up to say that it's vintage before his death, nobody, not even the downtrodden girls, are wearing an Alexander McQueen bag. She was so embarrassed to even say the name of the bag that he got her. And no shade, you know what I'm saying? People can wear that bag, but for the type of girl that she says that she is, that is not for her. But that's all.
Thank you, Brooklyn Star. Take care. Right. So maybe that's why she was a humming because she did say he's not used to buying high-end bags. So apparently, like, I didn't know. When I went to Harrods in London, I went to the Alexander McQueen little store area. And I really liked the stuff, and they were very expensive stuff. I didn't like the people working in there because they were very snooty. They was like this. No one came up to me and was like, "Can I help you? Are you looking for something expensive?" No, they were just like this. So I was like, I'll take my money elsewhere. It could have been just those workers. I'm not going to hold it against Alexander McQueen. May he rest in peace. All right. Joe Mendoza's backstage. We're going to bring up next. I'm just going to call Joe. Give you your full government now. What's going on, Joe? You're muted.
Hey, yeah. So I know that you complimented Drew for how great that mental health retreat or it looked like, but how sure are we that she was actually the one that organized it? How do we know that it was mostly her sister? I don't know, just checking.
Good point.
And then the other one was around Ralph. I think what really bothered me, and I hope it's like a real red flag for Drew, was when he was just like, "Oh, this is an intellectual topic, honey." I was like, "Well, what in the world? Like, what do you think of her, dumb?" Like that was, I was insulted for Drew. Now she could be lying and certain things, but just to directly imply to your wife that she couldn't understand intellectual things, that should be offensive.
I forgot about that.
And I agree about that Alexander handbag. Like, who? I need receipts that he actually bought them and that those actually exist, because it seems like she just made it up.
Oh,
that's all.
Okay.
Bye.
Thank you, Joe. Bye. All right, we're gonna bring up Wendy next. What's going on, Wendy?
Hi, Kempire. How are you doing?
Oh, well, how are you?
Okay, I'm gonna try not to use my whole minute. Okay, first with Tommy, whatever happened to his book? I don't know. 2, Martell and Sheree, they are the perfect match because these people do not like to pay for anything. Number 2, and then number 3, Sheree and oh my gosh, I'm having a brain fart. The pregnant one, whatever.
Sanya?
Sanya, yes, cackling hens. Cackling hens. That is your definition of a cackling hen. Okay, I got to get back to work. Love you. Bye.
Bye, Wendy. Take care. She did that in 30 seconds. Okay. Tyler's backstage. We're going to bring Tyler up next. Hold on. What's going on, Tyler?
Hi, Kempire. So, I don't like Sanya anymore. Like, are you anybody's friend? Like, you and Sheree been friends, and you sitting over there talking about how Martell didn't pay for this and this and that, which was hilarious to me because Sheree, girl, you know he ain't got the coin like that. Candy, Candy, stop being loyal to Sheree. She don't like you. Shred her to pieces. Like, it's obvious. She doesn't invite you anywhere, and anytime she gets a chance, she shades you. Um, this episode, this is the Drew I kind of been waiting on, and if she keeps on this path and be more transparent, I would like to see her remain on the show. I like this Drew being more real because we know your husband isn't about anything. We know that you are not happy. Like, I like this side of Drew. And I love Cynthia at that table rounding all the girls up and
And her
letting them know,
confessional.
like, girl, this is what happened. This is who was there. And this was this and this and that. Bring Cynthia on back and put her in the fold. And I want to see more of Heath, which is Monyetta's husband. She's boring. Oh, I'm sorry. She's boring, but I like her husband. He seems fun.
Yeah.
But that's all.
Thanks, Tyler. Take care. I forgot to mention that. No matter how you feel about Cynthia, and look, Cynthia needed this break. However, I will always say this. Cynthia's confessionals always made me laugh. And even now, in this episode, Cynthia's confessionals were making me laugh. So I like Cynthia. I wouldn't mind seeing Cynthia come back, even like in a part-time role. Just saying. We shall see. All right. Let me say thank you. Thick Brown Legs, thank you so much for another super chat. Kempire, it's still there, but no one is home. Oh, in regards to the AOL chat rooms? Oh, woo, 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 woo. That's a mess. LaShonda, thank you so much for the super sticker. We appreciate you supporting the channel as well. All right. Live chat. I'm going to drop the call and link for the live chat once we get to 850 likes. We're almost there. Let's get to 1,000, but I will drop the call and link once we get to 850 likes. We already have quite a few members backstage, so let me get back. Trauma Queen, we're going to bring you up next. What's going on, Trauma Queen?
Hey, Kempire.
Hey.
I just wanted to talk about Sheree.
Okay.
Like, I don't understand her. I don't understand what drives her. You know, I've been watching the earliest seasons, and she started She by Sheree in season 1, and I remember watching it in high school, and now in my 30s, you know, also trying to start my own business. Like, I just look at her and I feel so sad. Like, I don't understand what's motivating her in life. And just seeing this whole Bill fiasco, like, I just don't get her. I really don't. She really comes across as like, I don't know, I look at her and I pity her. I don't want to speak badly about her, but there's like a bit of like sadness when I look at her. I just don't know what's motivating her or driving her in life, you know? And also, where does her money come from? I don't understand Sheree. That's all I wanted to say.
You asked all the right questions, Trauma Queen. Thank you for calling in.
Okay, bye.
Bye. I mean, I had that thought too when I was watching this episode again. I'm just after show. You're talking about how people pay for this and that, and I'm thinking to myself, Sheree, how do you pay for anything? I don't understand how you have what you have. Or Chateau Thelma. Anyways, Obi's backstage. We're gonna bring Obi up next. What's going on, Obi?
I don't know how she makes her money, but what I'll tell you, the answer to that question is Sheree was raised to be a kept woman, and I feel like that's kind of the mentality she goes on.
Oh.
And that's what's leading to what it is. Wreck-It Ralph is nothing to write home about. His pettiness is oddly embarrassing, but what's more embarrassing is the argument on the after show. But before I got to figure out what it was, I had concluded that Sheree must be on some BS again. And boy, oh boy, I wasn't wrong. No surprise there. It's telling, though, that I had the epiphany that was the only time Sanya has been somewhat the farthest away from being lackluster this season. That's it. Bye.
Thanks, Obi. All right, we're gonna bring up Miss Bernice next. Let me stop. He did that in less than 30 seconds. Wow. I hope you all can do that. Bringing up Miss Bernice next. What's going on, Miss Bernice?
Hey, Kempire. What up, Joe? How you doing today?
Oh, well, how are you?
I'm fine. When I looking at Drew and looking at that man, Drew married him in 2014. When she was explaining to him that I got things to do and stuff like that, he married Drew when she was starting to come on the uprise. She had done TLC, the movie and stuff. She did that in 2013. She had did the game. So he was hitching on for that ride.
Oh.
This is a classic example when you marry someone or hook up with someone who's not willing to rise with you, but is in reality is always pulling you back. He don't have anything. What do Ralph have to identify himself as Ralph? Nothing. So he trying to use psychological games with Drew. You know, you said Barack Obama like they're two different people instead of one person. If you don't get your non-GED self on off TV before I hurt you, really? I said, no, this mofo ain't. I'm like, we just went back 10 steps with that. Like, And Sheree, I just pray for her that she finds somebody that love her, because Sheree is not used to having a man to love her for her.
You're right.
And you know, Martell wasn't gonna pay that. That wasn't Red Lobster. He could afford Red Lobster. He can't afford Nobu.
I think that was a very good price for Nobu too. All right, Miss Bernice. Thank you for calling in.
Okay, kiddo. Bye-bye.
Bye. I think $1,500 at Nobu? I mean, she said, I was like, really? I need to go to Nobu. Maybe they had a discount. Maybe there was a Groupon. If you pull out a Groupon with me, no shade, but don't do it. Especially not on a date. All right. Tamara, I'm going to bring you. If we're married, it's different. But when we're dating, no Groupon. Or slip it. Do it sneakily. Because I'm here for a discount, but. All right, let me get to these calls. Our backstage is full. All right. So let me bring up Tamara next. What's going on, Tamara?
Hi, Kempire. Rewind selector. I am not Jamaican. I am Haitian. But there's a large Caribbean community in Montreal and Toronto. So we used to do this back in the day at house parties and lights, hands up into the air, all of that. So, but when I went to Carabana last week, no one was doing that. So it's a bit outdated, but it made me reminisce. It was fun to hear anyway. And by the way, I saw Tanya there. Tanya.
Of course. She goes every year.
Yeah, she looks exactly the same.
Was she with her man?
Anyway, no, she was just by the float with her girlfriends. Yeah.
Okay.
She was living it up.
Okay. Yeah. I'm so glad you found her.
But anyway, sorry?
I'm so glad you found her.
I was like, oh my God, is that Tanya? I'm like, get out. But, she's from Toronto, so I get it, But she was having fun.
Okay.
I really liked the episode. I just want to make a comment about Kenya and her dilemma about the embryos.
Look at that.
Oh, sorry. Oh, my God.
Speak on it real quick.
Okay. It's just such a tough dilemma because on one hand, she has the contract. On the other hand, it's still partly his child.
Mm-hmm.
So I personally would pass on it, and I understand how she feels, only for the simple fact that I would not want to bring a child into this world knowing that there could be bitterness towards my child from their dad. So that's it. Adoption is an option, but it's not for everybody. But it's a very hard decision for her. So I feel.
Yeah, definitely. Tamara, thank you so much for calling in.
Thank you. Have a great day.
You too. Bye. All right. We're going to say thank you. We had a couple of super chats. Thank you, Rahina, for the super chat. Rahina says, so disrespectful and tacky of Martell and Sheree asking for cash apps. And it was last minute invite. Come on. I would have got up and left. Come on, Rahina. I would have got up and paid and then left and said, never again will I go out with these people. That's how I would have done it. Shady Millennial, thank you so much for the super chat. Shady Millennial says, why are you dissing dates that use Groupons? Doesn't it show that they are cost conscious and frugal? I said, that's fine. I didn't say that there's anything wrong with that. I said, just don't do it on, like when you're dating someone, you're first dating someone. No. Do it when we're like full on. No one's ever done that with me though, to be honest with you. Nothing wrong with a Groupon. People still use Groupons? Look, is Groupon still a thing? All right. Ohaji's backstage. Hey, Ohaji. What's going on?
Hey, Kempire. Can you hear me good?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes. Can I have Phobe's 30 seconds?
No. Go.
I was just joking. Okay, so first, Ralph is crazy. And what I got from him saying, well, I don't do daddy daycare, it's like, well, what does that mean exactly? Because it sounds like you're saying if your wife isn't around, you don't take care of the children. That's what that sounds like to me, which sounds insane. Martell can't pay for a dinner because we found out on Love and Marriage Huntsville that he's about to be unhoused. Um, yeah, so there's that. And as far as Drew, people really need to stop playing with Candy's life. First, she accused her of trying to groom her.
Mm-hmm.
And then secondly, she accused her again of trying to lock her in a dungeon and do something to her.
That part.
Stop playing with Candy's life like that. Y'all keep taking advantage of the fact that she's forgiving and loving and likes to get along with people. And it actually makes my blood boil. That's all I had to say.
Okay. Thank you, Ahachi, for calling in.
Thanks, Kempire.
Bye. Dimples on Demand. Okay, so apparently it's still a thing. Dimples on Demand says, I used Groupon last week to purchase my Costco membership. Well, then that's worth it. That's worth it. You're welcome, Groupon. I'll be in the next commercial. Remember when they had a commercial? Wasn't Tiffany Haddish in that commercial because she talked about Groupons? See? All right. We have a long line backstage, so I want to get through everyone. So please respect the timer so that we're able to get through everyone because I got to go because I have to rewatch The Real Housewives of New York before we recap it at 5:30 p.m. Eastern. All right? If you haven't liked the video already, be sure to like the video. We're going to bring up Dewan next. What's going on, Dewan? Dewan, you're muted.
Hey, what's up, Kim? Can you hear me?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. I'm actually in Atlanta, Kempire.
For
seeing
Beyonce?
Beyonce.
You know
Yes,
what?
I went Saturday. I'm going again tonight because the TikTok trick does work. I purchased my tickets at 8:30. It was $100 section. Or I was in section 120, row 13. Just FYI. Why Martell is a mess. That irked my nerves so bad because I am one of those friends where like, and particularly if I'm dating you, I will never make you pay for anything. That's one of my biggest pet peeves is to have a woman pay for anything, like on a date or lunch or whatever. And so the fact that he couldn't scrape up $1,500, which is like standard birthday dinner, is embarrassing. And Sheree needs to leave him in a heartbeat. And then two, if you watch the recap, they did show those Versace slides that Sanya put on the table.
Oh.
So she did bring the slides to her, and I just don't know what happened. But this was I gave this like a 5. It wasn't the best, but I appreciate your review, of course.
Thank you, Dewan. Enjoy your time tonight.
Thank you.
I'll be a little jealous. Bye. That's amazing. Look, maybe you guys can get tickets tonight if you were looking for tickets for Beyonce. I'm still annoyed. All right. We're going to bring up Judgy Justice next. What's going on, Judgy Justice? You're muted, Judgy.
Hey, sorry about that.
No problem.
I was all right. So sorry. Let me get away from those people. Yeah, that's my family. I can call them that.
Oh.
But all right. So I think people are forgetting that Kenya already went through like an invasive procedure to get those eggs. So like to redo that whole process at her age may not be viable.
Yeah.
Another thing is that I think people don't realize how broken down Ralph has gotten Drew, because ain't no way my husband gonna walk by me and I would have kissed him just because. And then his jokes before, like about the Ike and Tina, sir, if you would have walked by me at my event, arrived late, and walked past me and look at me twice, we would have had a meeting right then and there.
Oh.
We're not about to do this in front of people. And I wouldn't have just sat there dumbfounded. I would have went up to him and just kissed him on his big forehead and just said, "Hi, honey, you ain't going to ignore me." Another thing is that I can see why this show isn't really making our hearts jump the way it did, because when Candy and Drew met and saw each other, they should have had a little like thing about it, not just skate by it. Like, I think if it was a bit like anybody else, Portia, Nene, Phaedra, they would have at least joked about it and been like, "Girl, I was messing," or something, like, just to say nothing. It was just a flat moment. I just think that's the thing I see. Thank you so much.
Okay. Thanks, Judge Justice. All right. We're going to bring some more callers up. And let me just say thank you, Florence, for the super chat. Florence says Kenya should have the baby and let Brooklyn tell him when the baby is born. Come on. Are you so petty? All right. Thank you for the super chat. Guys, we're almost at 1,000 likes. Can we get to 1,000 likes? Let's get through these last couple of callers. We have quite a few callers backstage. So callers, I'm really going to try and get to all of you. So please respect the timer. All right. Marva, it's saying devices are not connected. So you might have to drop out and call back in. The same for Shola as well. Hold on. Who's calling me right now? Let me put on my do not disturb. There we go. All right. We're going to bring up Shanisha. Shanisha, hold on. What's going on, Shanisha?
Hey, Kempire. Okay,
Hey.
let me go ahead and get to it.
Mm-hmm.
Is it me or does it seem like Sheree and her minions are trying to push Candy out? There keeps being this theme of Candy being too busy. I feel like they're trying to put a bug in the exec's ear.
Oh.
Next, I agree with the last caller on the whole thing with Kenya having another baby. Kenya is a woman of a particular age. Honey, she went through a lot to get them embryos. Go ahead on, put them babies in a surrogate and have your kids, girl. Mark's level of involvement is going to be the same with this new baby as it is with Brooklyn. So it's not like she's going to lose out on anything. And then the last thing I'll touch on is Drew and Ralph. Production gets a big fat F for the storytelling of their divorce.
Ooh.
I need for Andy to have a one-on-one sit down with Drew and Ralph at that reunion, the same way he did with Dr. G and Quad, because that was a good one-on-one sit down while they were going through their divorce. I'm going to need the same from Drew and Ralph.
Oh, look at that. Thank you, Shanisha. Take care.
Thank you.
Bye. Aretha, we're going to bring... Any relation to Aretha? Hey, Aretha, what's going on?
No. Hey, Cam. How you doing?
Oh, well, how are you?
I'm good. Okay, so first of all, the whole Martell thing, to me, it feels as icky as giving your man your credit card to pay the till for you for everything. And if Sheree took the slippers back to the shop, hopefully she traded in the slippers for money so that she could pay all those other people that she allegedly owes. And third of all, I agree. Kenya is older, and this is me speaking from experience. I have older parents, so already, Brooklyn will still be a baby when she's older, and it is not easy having a child with a man that is not going to be involved. I feel like she's repeating a cycle, but this time it's with the father and not her mother. But yeah, anyway, enjoyed the episode.
Okay, thank you, Aretha, for calling in.
Thank you, Ken. Bye.
Bye. All right. Sidebar. If I see you guys out in the streets of New York, I apologize because I've seen quite a few of you out in New York, and sometimes I have my headphones in, so I don't hear you sometimes unless I make eye contact with you. I saw someone over the weekend. I don't know who you. If you're watching this, hey girl, I really wish I could have stopped and talked with you, but we saw each other literally in the middle of the street, and you know how that is. So I'm like, hey, thank you. I don't want y'all to think I'm being hateful. I'm not Nene. No, but I always think about it later. I'm like, oh wait. All right. Anyways, Amika, I'm gonna bring you up next. Amika, what's going on?
Hey, Kempire, can you hear me?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. I'm so excited. This is my first time calling in.
Thank you.
Because I'm at home on quarantine because I went to see Beyonce and Charlotte and came home COVID. But anyway.
Oh, I'm sorry.
First thing, did you hear Martell tell Carlos King on his episode that Anthony, the assistant that Sheree didn't want to pay, is the one that hooked him up? So that already lets you know that this whole relationship ain't on a solid foundation. Second of all, how is Sheree going to question Drew for not having $1,000 to pay in the lawsuit, but you not questioning your man for $1,500? Is that not the same thing? Mm-hmm. And then lastly, if Ralph is Ralph more upset about the 10 days that Drew will be gone as opposed to the whole premise of the movie? Like if Drew was like, oh, I've never kissed a girl because I'm a married woman and, my religious background, then how are you okay with playing this part in a movie? None of it makes sense to me. Thank you.
Thank you, Amika. Take care. All right. We're going to bring up Reclaimed Roof. Reclaimed Roof, what's going on?
Hi, Kempire. Can you hear me?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Oh, bless you. You are so amazing. I wish you all the best. Hopefully one day you're going to have your own show and you're going to be doing your own Housewives because we love you back here. You are amazing. You need your million viewers and I manifest that you get it. Anybody deserves it. You deserve it. You're
Thank you.
amazing.
Thank
No,
you.
it's real talk. So I want to go back. Can anybody remember like at the end of the show, they showed the last bits of the scene and they showed Ralph saying to Drew that he don't mind watching his wife have a twosome. So I'm like, okay, so is this what these guys have been doing anyway? Do you know what I mean? Is this why it's been coming out? Why there's a divorce? Why they're trying to find little ways to like try and hack at each other? And maybe this is one of the ways. And then with Kenya, I wish her all the best. She's a beautiful lady. She's an inspiration to all us black women out there, you know. No matter what life gives you, you just keep coming up. You know, she's failed how many times and she's got up how many times and she's won. So I love watching it. So thank you and thank you, Kempire.
Thank you. Take care.
Love you.
Bye.
Bye.
Shout out to all our folks that watch in the UK. You know, we had a meetup in London when I was there in May. So I met quite a few of you guys out there. So I look forward to doing that again. So stay tuned. We have Martell's Cash App backstage. What's going on, Martell's Cash App?
Cash at me, boo. Cash at me, boo.
What's going on,
Okay,
Kari?
I'm gonna try to be fast because I got a lot to say. Kenya, I've been avoiding saying anything, but in my personal opinion, you cannot think it's a good move as a mother to bring a child into this world knowing they'll be used as a pawn by a narcissistic loser. Selfishly placing your own wants and needs over the betterment of a child would be the absolute opposite of the parent you have proven us you are thus far. If it's truly about giving Brooklyn another sibling, adoption is the perfect option. If it's about having another tie to a man that only wants to be tied to your money, then yes, this makes perfect sense. Go ahead and get sued by Nose Ring for whatever his crooked mind can come up with because you now have 2 of his kids. Drew, this episode reminded me of why I lack empathy for you. You project the anger and frustration you have with your husband upon other women. You're unhappy at home and within yourself because of the emotional leech you call a husband. And instead of getting a divorce and realizing no matter what anyone says, you truly are a beautiful woman that could be worth the world if she stopped being a miserable liar. Right now, you're just worth more than Ralph, and you need to give every ounce of negative energy you have to him in divorce court.
Wow, look, did it all in a minute. Thank you, Kari, for calling in. Bye.
No problem.
Shola, we're going to bring you up next. What's going on, Shola?
Hi, Kempire.
How are you?
Again, this is a perfect time for me. The time difference is 9:15. Thank you. So I'm going to be quick, I promise. A few notes. If I was ever on this show, I would last 1 season because the moment you put a Rolex on my wrist, I cannot help but say, bling, 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 bitches is mad. I would not help myself, and that Nene reference would get me cancelled. Sanya's sister, I didn't like her reaction to the pregnancy. I felt like she tried to make it about herself. I thought that was not the time to say you were moving out. It's not like you were moving out in 20 minutes. Like, you could have given her the entire day to just enjoy the pregnancy announcement. You ask her how she's feeling. You ask if she needs to. I really didn't like people that make special moments about themselves. I just wasn't a fan. Again, I thought Drew was shady with the announcement. It was a really cute announcement. If I zoomed in on the picture, I'm like, oh my God, I didn't even notice. Drew, again, I agree, was very good at that table read. And I was like, wow, Drew is an actress. Because when I compared her to Shamia and Monietta and Candy as well, I was like, ooh, you need to stop giving all your friends a paycheck because at some point the talent needs to speak. And yeah, I'll be quick. Next, we've got Kenya on Carlos King's Speak on It, his version. And I can't wait. I cannot wait.
Oh, really? Kenya?
Yep. He's been posting on his social media. The next in-person interview is going to be with Kenya, dropping tomorrow, he said.
Oh.
Yeah, Tuesday. So
Okay.
I cannot wait for your recap.
Oh, here you go. Give me more
That's
work.
me.
Thanks, Shola, for calling in.
Thank you.
Bye. Okay. Dominique is going to be our last caller. So anyone else that calls in, I'm not taking you because I got to go. But for those that are just joining us, don't forget to hit the like button. We're almost at 1,000 likes. We love that for us. And if you're watching the replay of this, be sure to let us know where you're watching from, what's the weather where you're watching from, how you'd rate this episode from 1 to 10. How would I rate this episode from 1 to 10? I enjoyed the episode. It wasn't that bad to me. I'm going to give it an 8. So replay crew, later on crew, be sure to let us know your thoughts. Guys, also don't forget our new merchandise is now available at houseofkempire.com. More information is available in the description of this video. I'm going to bring up Dominique as our last caller. What's going on, Dominique?
Hi, Kempire. Hello, hello.
Hey.
How are you doing?
I'm well. How are you?
Good. I'm a little bit nervous right now. Like, this is my first time calling the channel, and I love your content, and I think that you're hilarious.
Thank you. What are your thoughts on this episode?
I mean, I would say all I have to say is I want to address the whole birthday mess that happened on the after show, and all I have to say is deflection on Sheree's part. The fact that she is not taking accountability on her part of her wrongdoings, it doesn't surprise me one bit. And I feel like everyone should know that the common courtesy is just paying for the guests. And another thing I don't like is her entitlement to think that everyone should show up with a gift because it's her party and all that. And I feel like gifts shouldn't matter. The only thing that's worth the gift to me is everyone's attendance and being a part of my special day. And if that was, I would say, if that was the case, if you're not gonna, but Sheree, if you're gonna not have, sorry.
That's okay.
But I feel like if that was the case, if you're not gonna pay for everybody else's gift, you could have had Martell ask for that rolly back girl to pay for everyone's meal. It's giving broke bitch energy.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Dominique, for calling in.
Thank you. Bye.
All right. Let me switch this back. Hold on. All right. First of all, thank you to everyone that called in. We appreciate your time. Thank you for being here. And of course, thank you to everyone that sent in a super chat. We appreciate that as well. Thank you to those of you that send in super thanks after the live on our videos. Don't forget, here on the channel, we don't just talk about the Real Housewives or reality TV. We talk about everything in pop culture. Tomorrow will be our Tuesday takeover. So we'll be talking about 90 Day Fiance. We'll be talking about the things that have been in the news. But if you want to hear my thoughts on things that I don't get a chance to talk about on any other platform, be sure to subscribe to our Kempire Radio podcast and subscribe to the YouTube channel so you can see a visual version of the podcast. Thank you to everyone that called in. Thank you to everyone in the chat. Shout out to our King's Guards. We could not do this without them, so be sure to thank them. Thank you to all of you that have become new subscribers. If you haven't, become a subscriber. And shout out to all of you that are members of the channel. To become a member, head on over to teamkempire.com/join. Shady Millennial, thank you so much for the super chat. Shady Millennial says, if they can't afford Nobu, go to Red Lobster. That part. All right, let's get out of here, guys, with some music. I will see you all at 5:30 for our recap of the Real Housewives of New York. Bye, y'all. Let's do this.
It's been way too long, I've been building walls around me. Keep my distance so you never know too much about me. Trying to keep you out cause I love my safe space. But the problem is I never looked into my own face. Am I ashamed of myself? Am I afraid of my emotions? Am I ashamed of myself? Am I afraid of my emotions? We let it go, will we hold it aside? It's hard to take the blame, I know it doesn't feel right. We let it go, will we hold it aside? You're more than just your past, you're more than what you realize. We let it go, will we hold it aside? It's hard to take the blame, I know it doesn't feel right. We let it go, cost you more than what you realize. When you let it go,